They're teaching us algebra, but we are faced with drug abuse. So things that we are faced with, we can't even attend to them. We need a special psychologist. But if you go to school, it's like you've seen your mother being abused in a certain way. You can go to a class that relates with you, because that's what's holding you back to being you.
This is the Hustler's Corner.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Hustler's Corner. Another exciting episode. As promised this year, I'll be putting in a lot of work. This year, guys. I'm going to put in a lot of content. I'm going to record a lot of episodes. I was actually speaking to my guy over the weekend. He's like, big homie, forget even just doing interviews. Like, just you alone on the mic, just rock. We want to hear your opinion on everything. Just rock and give us content like on an ongoing basis. You'll be shocked at how many people are on the internet now. Now, I remember when the wave started and a lot of people thought we were crazy. I think it was me and Touch and Gareth. To look at where the game is now, like YouTube, TikTok. Literally, the lockdown has forced everybody to go online. So I'm quite excited that you're here, guys. Let's go straight to that shop sign on the count of 1, 2, 3. Click that button. Let's go to that subscription button. Click it. And don't forget to switch on the notification bell. Now, this person who's sitting here, we pretty much started around the same time. Mofire, and when he was starting his business as well. Social media wasn't as big as it is now. I remember we would post. We would get like 1 like a week. Sometimes if it's interesting, 1 like a day. Yeah. And he was also starting his company, and we pretty much all started around the same time. I think maybe I started a year before, 2 years before, but we pretty much all started around the same time. Now let me give you a bit of a rundown about his company. It was founded in 2016 officially. They offer bespoke vehicle wrapping to individuals, car dealerships, and businesses. Today, the goal has become a reality for the founder who is sitting with me today. The company has shown remarkable growth and consistency with its in-house wrapping of all types of vehicles, which gives a unique customer service to its clients. The company utilizes the latest material, colors, technology to remain a leader in giving good quality efficiency while offering extraordinary after-sales support via local and international network. He is a computer systems engineer graduate, and his 10 years of experience as an information analyst has given him a very strong background in planning, business analysis, brand positioning, and leadership. Through his career experience, he's realized that most of the analysis and advice that he presented to companies while he was working in corporate was around brand development and strategy. That's where he developed a passion for branding and marketing. His passion for wrapping luxury cars started a few years back, and since his business has grown. His business is based in Johannesburg South. He employs a lot of people, and he's always wrapping, he's always turning vehicles. Takes them ordinarily, just like before you put on your makeup. And after you put on your makeup and your face beat and you look all zhang, that's literally what he does to cars. He makes cars look good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome entrepreneur, owner, founder, father, family man, visionary pioneer, Mr. Paul Maleke. How are you, my brother?
Yeah, my brother. Nice coming through. It's been a while, eh? It's been a while since we've met, but this was overdue.
This has been long overdue, bro.
Yeah,
when we spoke yesterday, I was like, instead of me saying, hey, next week, I'm like, available outside. When you said, let's just do this thing,
No, I actually like the spirit.
Yeah.
The energy. It's always, we must do things now. Always push to do things.
Get it done, get it out of the way.
Get it done, definitely.
Shout outs to tree huggers out there. Maybe let me get that out of the way. A lot of people wanted me to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think some of you guys, maybe you've already been inspired to go do research around hair, around walking barefoot, what we call it grounding, and also just hugging trees and being one with nature has also, I'm sure, inspired you or encouraged you to go digging deep around the meaning of that. So I'm not going to go into detail about that, but some of the things that went viral after my TikTok posts, I was actually excited. I know I ignore the noise, you know.
Actually, you, Casper, have mastered this thing of of creating a buzz, and that's like.
But I
crazy.
didn't do it intentionally, Paul. Right? I mean, now I just post.
Meaning that thing likes you then.
But which is fine.
The buzz like you.
And which is fine. So
is
sometimes it'll be negative, and people are trying to drag me for whatever reason. I usually just get busy. I don't have time for that. I stay away from my phone. But this time I decided, actually, this is a beautiful teachable moment. Because ke bone dintwana tse nyane di butsisa ka riding, di tlhare go vaka mount king riding, tse ding di re grotman wa hlanya. I was like, oh, this is actually a beautiful opportunity for me to engage. And then I started engaging, but little to my knowledge, I didn't know that my social media will explode. As I was saying to you, that social media has grown now. I mean, I grew by 100,000 followers on Facebook. I'm now literally officially on 1 million followers on my Facebook.
But I think most of us know that because it actually improves your circulation of blood. As you step in, because your comfort of shoes, sometimes must leave them a bit.
Come out.
The circulation of blood improves.
And but you never understand electric, your electricity. That's why, you know, there would be something that they would call telepathy. It's because you connected with them, you connected on the same frequency with them on the other side. And if you watch a lot of the late great Koko Waron and Tate Credo Moto, Koko Credo Moto, he was not even Tate, he was not even
Koko,
grandfather, he was Koko. He's an ancestor, great grandfather of ours. He said there was no language back in the day. But you need to remember, this person comes from the early 1900s. And the information that he got from his parents and maybe his grandparents tells you some of the things that he's also experienced. He says there was no language back in the day. People used to just look at each other and communicate, and they would understand each other. It's like animals. Animals don't have a language, but they can communicate. I was like, wow. So that's also part of you being that energy being. But that's a conversation for another day. We are here because of Paul. But I just wanted to thank you guys. We've got 100,000 new followers on our Facebook. We are now 100,000 officially on our TikTok. We are now we're closing in on 100,000 on my YouTube subscribers. Thank you very much to all the new subscribers. And we are officially 1 million on Instagram and 1 million on Twitter. We're growing. It's all because of the noise, but we turned it into a positive thing to promote this new drink called the Passion Pusher, new flavor of More Fire. We now have 6 flavors of our energy drinks, and we've got soft drinks as well. As the last thing is, not the last thing, 2 more things. I dropped a song called Marua Pula. I'll put the link in the description of Marua Pula. Go check it out. Dope song, ancestral, very, very amazing song that I did with Papa the Voice, Drum Pope, Bongani Sex, and Atlekhang the violinist. But the last thing is, we launched my own collection of NFTs. We only launched 10 at $295.
Okay.
They're all sold out. They sold out in 3 days.
So
Yeah, so, but what I liked was the inquisitiveness from the audience. What are NFTs? What are these things? So what I'm trying to say is that noise pretty much brought a teachable moment. So we started learning about nature, learning about trees, learning about hair. Now we're learning about NFTs, who's dropping NFTs. And so basically I literally turned the entire noise into something positive. And let's start there with you. Some of the negatives that you have experienced in your life, how were you able to turn them into positives?
You know, I always make this example. So when we started, I was very vocal on Facebook. Back then, Instagram wasn't that big, but we were very quite vocal on Facebook. And like a lot of people say, dude, why are you always posting? So I'll create a company. So how I started my company is like I saved money. I paid rent for three months. I didn't have machines. I didn't have stuff, but I posted that, and that. So people always, you know, Jay-Z says his uncle was scared on his behalf. Every time he said, I have this dream, and the uncle will not connect with the dream, and will tell you like, yeah, young man, focus on 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's what people do. So when we start posting like our shop, our this, and there's no stuff, people want to see people working. And people start coming out, and you know, family, friends, everybody said, no man, just chill, take a chill. Well, but I knew that social media is coming, you know, like there was that kind of vibe that, you know, like this is where we're going in terms of like social media. If you listen to your Elon Musk and everything, they always say things now that don't make sense to you, But 2 years later, we're here with Telsa and electric cars are happening. And a lot of people can't connect with that. So I think for me, it's always been like that. If I feel the energy is right and I feel this, I feel positive about something, I go for it. Irrespective, like I said, I always like just focus on the processes. Worry later about the main result. You know the result will come, but focus on starting and keeping that thing within your limits, like what you can do at that moment, and then what you can do at that what you can do, reserve it for later. Don't worry too much about what you can do, like the funding. A lot of people concentrate on the things that they don't have. So I start with things that I have and organize around that, So for me, that's how I kill the noise. I focus on what I can do at that time, and if I feel strongly about it, that's what I'm going to do and push it.
Lovely. I like that. Focus on the little that you have around you instead of being too focused on what you don't have, because the little that you have will eventually create what you don't have, right? Sorry.
So I'll take you here. You know how I met you? I've been in the room with you more than 5-10 times, but I'll just greet you. I never say, Sbuda, do this or that. But I knew that being around certain people that are positive will take you somewhere. I've met you in different seminars, so I was more of a programmer, IT, So I don't want to take a step back. So I wasn't out there. So I made a thing to listen, I need to meet at least 2,000 people a year. New people that I've never met. Good energy. So I'll go to seminars. I started counting till 200 and I can't get to 1,000, but I think I've reached 1,000 at some stage. Go to seminars, you had so many seminars that were running. There were other guys that were doing the same. That's how I met Dr. David Molapo. All these other people that I've never said to them, listen, this is how we're linking up, but I just needed their energy. So sometimes people want connections. You don't have to go direct to SBU and say, SBU, connect, number 9. Be around them, see what they do, connect to their energy. And along the line, if you guys are meant to meet, that will happen.
And I want to know you. Like,
Okay.
who is Paul Maleke? Who is Paul Maleke?
Oh,
so Jabulani?
Yeah.
What made me think you from Pretoria?
No, we are Jabulani, Soweto. Then I grew up. During riots, Soweto early days were very rough. Then my grandfather decided to take me, kulela ni time at Carltonville. So I grew up Carltonville till what we call grade 7 or grade 8, somewhere around there. Then I came back, So out as a gas, kulele lokshine Soweto Jabulani, ngapuma ngayoplome Carltonville for a couple of years, then came back Soweto. And then Bramley. From Bramley, I went to study at Vaal University of Technology. I did computer science engineering, and from there, worked in universities for about 8 years. I've always been around business and planning. So I used to plan for universities, sustainability. So worked for University of Johannesburg, University of Vaal University as well. At the University of Pretoria. So we all plan how that we get subsidy from government, student fees and third stream income, sustainability, doing investment for universities, always to keep the money running within the university so that we can keep the lights on. And
Valtech?
Yeah, Valtech.
Oh, no, Valtech, which campus?
No, the main campus.
Oh, main campus, go Valve.
The main campus, yeah. So I finished my BTech, and then from there, I went to University of Pretoria. I'm away from my master's and I think I knew it because I knew I already had a back, the entrepreneurship, and I didn't see it within the line IT at that time. It might come back again, but yeah. So from there, went to work. My last corporate work was with JD Group. We do the same thing as well. We bought business continuity. Then within business continuity, then that's where I realized sometimes when I do presentations, I could realize now you're doing cryptocurrency. Sometimes people might not understand. So you might come up with your models to make people understand. That's where the branding and marketing came in. So I hired a guy who came to assist me with graphic design, and I started selling that too. I'll have somebody, then I present. The guys kind of like that. The people can understand. I say like, okay, we buy this store, we bring it to our group. This is how we make them Kutiba adapted to the group, and then have a continuity with them. And from there, I started having clients outside that I can do similar type, So part 2, when they started, Theo came to me. We did a bit of branding for them. Drip, when they started, he called me before he started and said, dude, I'm going to do my cars with you. I'm going to do my thing with you. I've seen what you've done with 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was like early 2019 or something. I said, no, come through. So we've been behind many brands that have started. Skinny's Blue Socks. When I met Skinny's Blue Socks in the beginning, I mean, I did something for him where I had a loss of 174 rand. But because I believed in him. We went on further till we got to, sorry, I've got my stuff here. So we went to the further till we got to Starterford. When Starterford came and said, Smooth, the requirements are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Smooth brought them to my shop, and we could listen, we're gonna meet these requirements. We're very professional, very quality orientated. And we went to Starterford, and he was accepted to Starterford. Then I got a Porsche M as well. Big brands that we. Porsche M, he was with Marco. Only about 15 or 16 stores. When he called me, I was going on a holiday. He got my number from Skin's Blue Socks. Called me and said, Paul, I hear that you can do magic. And on a holiday, and she got a grant from DTI, and then they appoint a mentor. And the mentor was never convinced with the material that she had. And they had an appointment in Feb with Pick n Pay. And I worked out, it was December, Jan. And then she took back the material and said, this is how we've set up our marketing structure, our thing. And the guy says, listen, my confidence is coming back now. I can see where we're going. And we got all the branding materials ready for her, and she got her first gig with Pick n Pay. It was lovely. We did all the things, all the product that you see in store right now, apart from their latest range maybe. We designed everything from boxes, tubes, all that. We changed the whole logo, everything, built it up to that. So we got a couple of brands that we've worked, big brands, including the Motsepe Foundation as well. We worked with them for 3 to 4 years. Same thing as well, when the gentleman came to us, listen, we want to separate the man from the foundation, but then we want the foundation to have its own representation. We worked, and we came there for one entity. We ended up picking up all the entities, AFI, Sundowns, so we've had a good footprint in the industry, especially my passion being around getting black businesses to progress and have a footprint in the retail market, a footprint in their own brand, their own goodwill as a brand, and that's been my passion, actually.
I'm very proud of you, bro. I remember we started around the same time, and I'm still going to take you up on the offer, because on our first van, first Mofire van, anyway, our first van, when we bought it, we posted it on social media, and we said, God is great, this is our first van, Mofire. This is a product. I think that was 2015, I'm not sure. Yeah. And then you commented and you said, I'm willing to wrap your guys' car at no cost.
Exactly.
I know I never took you up on that offer.
No, actually.
Because I'm panicking, guys, there's something that they call a deposit of favors. Deposit of favors, basically, you can do goodwill or serve other people without withdrawing your favors. So come on to among psychologically ba kolota favor mara ba jumpisetse mara ona wa itse re njala ba bona ba hopola re dimane ka ne tshwantse ke mirele something mara you don't withdraw that time. You wait for the right time to withdraw that favor. I'm kidding, guys, it's not a favor. I think it was just a gesture of goodwill from him, saying, hey, I'd like to support you guys. I'd like to rep your first car at no cost. And thank you for that. And maybe let's touch on that, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are watching. There's certain things that we sometimes do, but that's not for free. but we do them because we know at a later stage it might add value. Maybe let's have a discussion around that.
So you, lately, our babies are my social capital. So lately you associate or barter situation, but
Trade
also
exchange
deals. But you got to have an eye to see that this brand will be something in the future. And that's how a lot of partnerships are happening around the world. People partner based on having faith into a certain brand. So I think for us, when we saw you, I think we've done a couple of things for you guys. And
I know.
And what we do is like for Mofire, for me, like it's a brand that I believe in. I believe it's a brand that inspires a lot of people. We need a lot of people into the retail space industry. So into many other industries, we need our black people to start up. And the more we have our black people out there doing things, shaping things. There's somebody who wants to do a drink, but they didn't know how it can be done till somebody does it. There's somebody who's doing a shoe. They didn't know that, you know what, we can do the shoe till they saw the guys tapping into the games and do those things. So for me, once I see people tapping into those spaces, I get interested because I want to help. I want to see how we can assist and get people up there. But also, like, you must pick people that you think you can connect with them. And I think with Mofire, actually, Sandra Moteni A4 Jake.
Yeah, I got Jake.
And
I think it's still wrapped even now.
Wrapped. It's
Shout out
beautiful.
to Jackie Pamudze. Big up to you, my sister.
We did that one, and I've always have interest in then I met your partner as well. Me and your partner, we get along very, very well. We discuss other things outside business. We motivate each other. You know, we good. No, you know, somebody just came from nowhere and just keep, you know, like Paul. I push. Like keep it down, do this, do that, and I enjoy that. You know, like to have somebody ongagwazi who has good thing to say about you, who can address you if you feel like maybe you've overstepped, and you can listen. You know, most of the guys, everyone or everyone around, advice. You don't pagamisa ifu. You know, you just talk chatama advice, and so that you can grow as well, and also to be objective about things around you as well. So Mofire ngakuthola uSibuda postile wonke umuntu egivelile athi Sibuda, I think you were on William Nicole and you had a box there, you had Mofire selling, and everybody like was a negative
in the streets there.
Yeah. Sibuda, and we came with what we call moving boards, and we gave you the moving boards.
Oh yes.
Presented something and said like, listen, instead of like shouting negatively sometimes, come with something. And we had those moving boards. We did a couple of them on your shows, and I think it went well. You know, like
that was nice.
That was nice. That went well, and I also like that you believed in what you were doing, and you still went on about doing it in different ways, planning and that. And if you see the result of the other Skinny Spoo socks, he did that same concept, but inspired by. Like I think you know Spoo likes you and get inspired, and you see how he approached. I think people underrate that video. So Spoo waits at the corridor, wait for the president to come out, and give him the socks. You must know it's art, it's belief, it's inspiration that comes from somewhere. And say, Mr. President, and I could see if you look at that video very well, you'll see the security guy trying to approach Spoo, but Spoo has time me at this day. But Mr. President, Nali Sogis. Must watch that video again. The president now is caught on camera. He can't do anything. So, beautiful. Send it to my office. And that thing goes, you know, went viral. You know, so those are kind of things. People will discourage you trying to sell, you know. But then your angles, like even with us, we're kind of like discouraged so much. Like, no, why you're going to show my car? I don't want people to know my car. No, we hide number plate. People will discourage in the methods of how we do things, and people are wrapping what dude, we wrap new cars, old cars, everything gets wrapped. You know, no, you get all that, but it's a feedback, and all you need to do is keep educating people.
What are the benefits of wrapping a car?
There's a couple of benefits in it. Obviously, first of all, the whole car is wrapped, so the paint underneath is like, you know. It's not exposed to the sun, it's not exposed to lighter, minor scratches and a few light dents, and so you get quite a lot of benefit, and also benefit to say like when you like South African model, you pay a car for 5 years, then you need to change your car. Sometimes maybe say Bora, so from change why you can change the color. You can just customize, change the color, keep it. Now you save another 5 years of you spending on another car. You have a new car that you can drive. Also, I've been pushing a lot to say, guys, I said something and like now it's creating a bit of buzz, but it's not. But like to say, like guys, we must remember we come from somewhere, and for where we are, when we buy these cars, we must never make these brands bigger than us, and people never understand the concept of that. So when I buy a car, I want to bring my personality into it, not to have somebody else. Yes, you can create a structure, resonate with the brand, but it must represent me. It must represent me as a young person. It must represent me as, as a mature person, or whatever vibe you are. It must kind of like represent you. So those are kind of things you can bring your personality into the car. We see a lot of superstars overseas do the same thing all over again. Like, you can have different looks in a car. You can, instead of having 3, 4, 5 cars that you around, you can have so many looks in it that you can bring by just changing a few things.
How have you used social media to grow your brand? Because if there's a few people in this country that have mastered that well, apart from us, More Fire, I would definitely count you high up there. Nabo Tsepo by two. Where it is the relevance man or relevance man, not Tsepo the chin maker, Utio, Ulikao. I think a lot of us, there's a handful of us that have literally taken advantage of social media when we've built these brands, and I think we've then inspired a huge culture of entrepreneurship that now there's a whole lot of other people who have seen the light to go to, actually I can use social media to my advantage to grow my brand. And by the way, shout out to Porsche M as well. They've done very well in using social media to grow their brand. Let's have that conversation.
So you must have purpose with your social media. So for me, that's that. I have purpose. I don't post for fun, for likes. I post, there's a purpose. It might not hit 10 likes, but my purpose has been fulfilled. So for me, that's how I've done that. And I've also planned I plan my social media. So there's certain patterns if you follow my social media on how everything works out, and also study the audience as well. Monday, abantu bafuna motivation. Monday, umuntu ufuna uvuka, I look forward to a new week. So you got to bring an angle that communicates to that. Friday, people want to relax and take it easy. And people they get to the mood of spending. So maybe want something fresh, people, they're willing to spend. So you understand your audience. And also, a couple of things, like that. So I think
that's 100,000 manje.
Doing 130 there.
Sure, bruh. Okay, sorry, continue. I'm disturbing you. Well done. Well done.
No, easy.
It's not easy to grow an account to this big.
And no promotion, no buying of things. We're running authentic till we reach to up to 500,000, and that's my model, because that when you post, you're not communicating to somebody Israel or E. So a post, if it turns good, it brings sales. So that's how we plan out. Everything is well planned. Somebody said, like, why don't you have a separate business account, a business? No, listen, people now, they associate with a person, not a page. So they want to see Paul ngamthemba ngemali yami. Phela abanye abantu bafaka inyoko before, abanye bafuna ukwazi if something goes wrong ngamthola lo muntu. If you're human on your page, then they can relate to that. You can take responsibility, you can do this and that. So people want to see that, and also a bit of who are you? Because people don't know you. We only show a certain percentage of who we are on social media. But that snapshot gives them an idea of the kind of person you are, and if they can trust you, because they worked hard for these cars. So those are kind of like things. Then we know like also where we tend to tune our revenue amongst all the social pages. So we push different things in different So not one post works in all social media, you know. So your Facebook page, we know like it's like it's a support page for us. Support page, people there, they like to see you moving, growing. People on Insta, they want to buy. So you got to know these different pages. So we communicate different things to different social media space.
As the great Julius Malema would say, Twitter, these Twitter streets are not for the faint-hearted.
No, not at all.
If you can't handle Twitter, then get out of there.
Yeah, not
because
at all.
Those platforms who are willing or who are able to take criticism and who are able to stand for ourselves, because it can be a very rough platform, bro.
It is. It can be, but you don't have control over everyone. So with Insta and Facebook, it's like kind of like nyawaz man, like I'm allowed to know comment emnandi to show page. But on Twitter it's a very different. It's like everybody in his own box somewhere there. Sometimes you don't even meet those people, so that's why they're very
fun. So I like the fact that you don't just blanket all of social media and say this is how we treat our social media. It's this is one approach to all of our social media. Same thing, Nami. I'm talking about me in person, not my businesses. Is Nami Njalo. I treat my Facebook. Has a community corner. I find in a community. I go TikTok. I find the community. I go YouTube. I find the community. I go Instagram.
Yeah.
So I treat them differently. So I like that you said earlier as well about your Facebook being like some sort of a support page. And me, when I do give talks, I emphasize on the point of taking advantage of your social media, guys. Guys, we don't have millions to go pay SABC to screen our ads. Or we don't have millions to go pay Tiso Blexa to advertise a half a page on Sunday Times or on Sowetan. What we have is this. You remember the interview when it started, what he said earlier? He said, start with the little that you've got. And what do we all have? This. So everybody has got social media. So use your social media in a way that it can help your business grow. And I'm glad that we touched on that. Now let's keep it moving. A lot of businesses start with one revenue stream of income, and as the business grows, it starts developing other streams. And as I was telling you that I was speaking to MacGyver over the weekend, we spoke about how his podcast started and how he started monetizing. Actually, I should bring MacGyver here. Guys, go to MacGyver's page right now. Go tell him to come on the Hustlers Corner, because we just need to have this chat about MacGyver's amazing, inspirational story. MacGyver has been through a lot in his radio career. He's been fired everywhere. And for him to no longer have any platform and no any other place to go and only one option to create his own thing and see it blow up to become not even one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest in the world.
Number 30
It
in
is
the world.
the biggest in South Africa, the biggest in the continent.
That's a dope.
It's an inspirational story. So go to his page, tell him or ask him when is he coming to the Hustlers Corner. Anyway, we started talking about how he started monetizing it through YouTube first. And then the sponsors started coming in. But then the sponsors also started wanting to regulate his content or how he speaks to the people. That can also be detrimental to your business. But as time went on, to cut the long story short, now he does about Patreon. Now there's all sorts of different revenues that he has over just one podcast. And that's what I would like for us to touch on as a business. Just njengathi besine flavor A1 mnyama. Khona manje nama flavor I6 wama energy drinks, nama soft, So there's now multiple revenue streams.
So
what about it? I think
I'm a big fan. When I started a business, one of the guys said to me, so mina ilezi is first time. So ngiyafoster but ngifoster ngendlela zami.
Not njengomzekeze.
Yeah, not njengomzekeze,
Sure.
but I can be at the president's office and nobody knows how I got there.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of guy. Snooping and I'll get there. The president will hear me out. So I met the guy, and this guy. So yeah. So this guy kind of like said something like that stayed with me in my business. Always convert profit into capital. And that's how it will give you access. Njengawo uqale nge-flavor one, but if you put the flavor, the profit of the flavor one, we figure into other things, like maybe let me even go like so my private jet. You won't have money to buy to invest in the second flavor. So you take the money from the first flavor, you create the second flavor, ganja. So I believe in that. So what we've done, like we started with the marketing company, which is still there. So right now we do more of customized branding. So we work with agencies. We're doing a couple of good brands, and then from there we moved to creating a second stream, which was the rapping part. So you'll see now I'm promoting more of the rapping part because we wanted to get to a certain level. And though it has overshadowed the other one, but the other one's still there, it works. We still have that thing. Then now we've branched into other different things. So we've started an office called, in our thing called business development. So in our business development, we look at businesses that we kind of like not gonna post them on social media. So these businesses, they're different. Some of these businesses are through the network that we've created where we commercialize it now. That we've met, like with cars, it gives an opportunity to meet somebody. Try like if you will touch Lamborghini or but with branding, the person can send you to a department or the manager and never meet the owner of the company. So with the cars, it's different. Paul, every 7 or 8 episodes or 10, is going in someone's house. We rep cars that we don't even show on our social media because the client wouldn't want us to show that because they are very, but then it gives you access to them. So shy meeting yako, lahlele kunye society. So now people with the quality that we give, our passion and all that, they're able to hear you out, and you step into other businesses and the new business that we also have that it's run by my son who's 17. Also through that, like listen, it's a music content management that we'll put on social media, but others will kind of like hold them back and push them on separate streams. So we are creating that because I'm all about business continuity.
Yeah.
I'm all about business
Can
continuity.
You see, guys, we're already grooming our kids.
He's doing metric, and at metric he can...
He's 17, he already has his own business. And you told me he's already making almost 10 grand every month.
You see, so he can start paying for his own school fees now.
And that's dope. So he can start paying his own school fees.
But then but you got nice plan, so you plug him to the right people, your network. And I always tell people that you come from that industry. If you look at musicians, there's somebody when they one hit, and that hit has opened so many doors. Sometimes life, you get that only one chance. You become relevant at a certain period, and there's other new people are coming. So make use of that to be able and diversify yourself so much that if we move from selling CDs to streaming, you can also use that part. People stream on a platform, and still you create your own platform, people stream, and then you can sell adverts. So you got to always think about what's happening right now, what the future looks like, So all that. So for me, that's how I kind of like think of.
And what does the future look like for you?
I think the future kind of like looks good. As I grow up and mature, I kind of like reassess certain...
washiye khona la etafuleni mfana ngoma naphela nyawaphuza amanzi bafethu ngangitwinya ndoda ungithelele ngathi ngingamla ngudaka kumele uqwalise ikomithi ndo kuyabona nakhona umsebenzi or nakhona i-kitchen part uthola useteratheli wine autumn harvest qwalisa idlazi ndo ishayele phezulu asikawara phela la kidaki kopotselo skaslize ke tla ke tsala ngamla ke le kobodi kai le ngamla ke tla ke eva ska manghamla nkare ke Mr. Matiming mara fono mele ngithele konakala ukuthi ngimoyela mlamba ndoda ngomile mele ngenze kanje otherwise mele phela ngizele empompini.
So yeah, so for me, so the future I think looks good. We started with no staff. We're sitting at about 12 staff that we've employed, and we also working on a program that going to introduce young people to the automotive industry, because we feel it's a big game and black people aren't playing in that space. Their role is to consume and drive, but we none of us own. I see Kevin Curry, well done to him. I know they're working on the Maserati deal. But apart from that, there's very few. Back in the days, we only knew about the Kunene brothers, and there's only few people tapping into the right space. Right now, like who owns Impinchami, just did, but he owns like the Daytona, like they own the license to sell Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, Aston, all those kind of cars. Us, we don't have any access. I've been through a couple of fights that people don't see, and then I've been fighting with a lot of ingamless buyer. Buyer, but no why. I get emails, Paula, I know, listen, we're the only license and service provider in Africa. You need to do it like, go to a point of going overseas to talk to these people and explain, like, Africa is not a city. It's big. So if you give somebody license to 60 million people, it's not feasible, So there's fights. It's just good there's no capital muscle to push these fights, but there's fights. But at least you can say something. Somebody else maybe one day will take it further. But we got to so you go to a certain company, says only these companies can work in this car. Who own the license to do those cars? Nobody. It's not And then there's assembling of cars that are going to happen now. Toyota is assembling, VW is assembling a PE. So what are we doing? We're only doing the labor part. So we got to get into these spaces and get involved as black people. So the automotive industry is such a big, a billion rand, not if not $1 trillion business. And I think, so that's the conversation we want to start. We're busy with the business development page. We're busy now trying to see so the industry in the few months to come, because we're going right at the top. And when we go there, we're saying we want opportunity one, and give us this. We're asking, we are capable, we've proven. So most of the time, I've spent instead of putting enjoy and shy motors, I'm just keep putting back to business, so that I can have a certain type of business that when I communicate, people see that you put effort, and they see the staff, they see the professionalism, they see how you've tried to make sure that Maui Porsche and Uzagit, the slight difference. Like we've said, so that we get the communication throughout, but collecting your car at a dealership to us, we've tried to close that gap as well. So that's the thing that we're doing in the back, that we're trying to say. But then also now, when you start communicating like that, create a pool, because they will give you basically. So that's why we're seeing like we need to create platforms to introduce young people into the automotive industry. People always think most guys go to mechanical engineering and they end up in my mine, So we got to bring them into that. Some think with like, I'm gonna do this course, share my engine and thing. But if you look at the people that are fixing our engine and doing things, they went through just smaller training, offset training, and they did that. So we need to talk to young people and say, listen, this is the pool. So all I want to do, I don't want to bring a college or anything, but I want to create a platform where these people can come to our premises. We take them through maybe 360 degree of the automotive industry. This is what's happening, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. I've been to Noye West Rand, like understanding I'm a pass. Ipas is Chelsea, like a country. The rest is manufactured here. Who does that? All the bus that you see, Agna pass and we train or we Zala. Everything is manufactured here. So people need to understand those. And we're not playing in that game. I've done over a couple of buses for Ekurhuleni or even in cities. These buses are quite expensive. But who's playing in that game? Tina, sends an tent. Your source, your supply. That's our game. But we got to think, we got to open up and say, listen, at some stage the population of car will be more than people, because people are buying 4 or 5 cars. But now, it's not good enough that we only buy. We've got to be part of the process, and that's something for me. The future will be like, hey, Mangas Tola one day, I've voiced out and I found SBU somewhere, they've tapped into the space. I'll be happy. That will be my kind of like future to say, listen, at some stage I went in, I saw a gap, and I didn't keep quiet. I didn't allow the fact which like I don't have funds to I can show you an email like or something and Paul, but no, not Paul. And what I like as well is the support from brothers out there. Say, no, Paul is gonna do
and
this.
sisters.
Brothers and sisters, yes. Because behind, like actually I got more female clients, but the brothers, like they will come and, say, hey, dude, this guy is going to do this and this, and then now the industry kind of like open up for me, but we still, it's just at the tip of the back, so we still have a lot of work that needs to be done into that. So for me, that's that. About Amachita, Ipan, and this pan is like sometimes, if you can go to college, if you can go to university, it's not it more technical skill. Amachita, Aspana Grand, Bahola Grand, some of them, no metric, nothing, but it's just passion, experience, that comes in. So internet bikers, we can, elevate them from the thinking if they don't go to school, everything is doomed.
Sikuthola vaku social media.
Social media, ungithola Paul Maleke on Facebook, Paul Maleke on Instagram, Luxurious Rap on Twitter. We're not highly active on that. We just started our TikTok account as well. So yeah, so those are the places that
And then before I let you go, I'm going to ask you two more questions. The first one is family and entrepreneurship. You guys know when you're still building, and you've got a madam this side, or you've got a husband or a boyfriend this side, and you've got kids, this journey does become a bit difficult in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It becomes worse if your partner doesn't understand, or you're not taking the liberty to make them understand. Mm-hmm. Family then and now, because when you start to see the light, at least things start getting better.
So family we start well. Paul is working. I've been quite grand. I've been grand. Back in the days, like I left work 2014. So
about voyage.
So because I used to do these presentations, like when the graphic designer I am somewhere and so we had a bit of conflict with and I started to make sure to balance, like, so because when you tell them like I'm doing this, they accept. But when it goes, because I had a gig with Mercedes-Benz, we did the icon, 21 icons, Maboning.
I remember that project.
21 icons, and it was on top billing. Hey man, you're excited, you're sharer, because they know in Engam like it's a sharer. Then I got a Platinum Stars gig, and that so saying a span manji, and isn't as big as Mlandi. But then they start like, hey, this thing is gonna disturb you. Hey, you're not gonna be a tip player, because like sometimes after work, so the dinners and sometimes you're not available. And I went over that decide and that.
Oh, so they gave an ultimatum.
Then I was gone.
But you made the best decision of your life.
No, I was gone, and she opened. Hey, mangas sola la phambili ngizobuya ngizopholisa. And then I came back. Yeah.
So, but Marazangwanyela City,
not
basically you didn't burn your bridges.
No, we didn't. Like I left without resigning. It was like that thing on my option, which decide. And then I think it was on Tuesday. I was supposed to come back Monday.
So guys, Araskanyela City, but let's not burn our bridges. Leave good relationships behind, so you can always go back, because you can never know what this life is gonna entail for the future. And then family.
Family is good, man. Like I got a very supportive wife. She buys into my vision. As I'm watching things at the best, my things the best way I can, so that she can understand, because it does get rough in the streets. It's a business, sometimes I'm late to work. Sometimes you gain. Sometimes you deal gone wrong. There's so many things that can disturb around the line, and now it was COVID, but when you have a supportive wife and supportive family in general, So my kids, my 6-year-old knows everything about my car. Like scale out time I saw. Bring them involved. Like I make sure like family, everything. You know, my 17-year-old boy, like I've started taking him to meetings at 12, 15. You know, like take him along because they can support. Like the first thing when I moved to the new premises, he asked me about, is the rent cheap or expensive? Yeah, boy, wait.
Already asking the right questions.
He's asking the right questions because now it's not. So you make sure with even the extended families, because our phone would make better. You know,
Yeah.
and because sometimes our families assume which is grand.
Yeah.
So you must build a proper structure out there, and you know, even much friends outside, you know, as families, they must know so that you get the right support, because this journey can be very, very rough at times. You know, you set like, because we sell luxury. I mean, we sell luxury is cars. So COVID makuvaliwe. People are thinking of survival. People are thinking of saving. So you got to have that proper support system. But so far, it's been real. It's been real. There were times where things were very, very hard. But after that storm, I think that storm needed to happen to make us realize that, like, even the next storm that will come, you know, we can't be moved. We are new to a new storm. We've been working grand in Kholamnandi, every month. Now you start a business, you get disturbance around the line, you know, before the business stabilizes. Sometimes you don't know, but you must serve the business first or you must serve home first. You're caught up in those moments, but then when the storm happens, it clears you. Now you have an approach and say, listen, this business, it's a child at home. I used to treat it as an external entity. But lo muntu lona ifirstborn yala endlini. Unakekela thina la endlini.
Yeah.
So manje kumele sinakekele lo muntu qa.
Yeah.
You know, before, like, for instance, like, teach them those kind of things.
Yeah.
That there's no point in me paying the house first or you're taking more when this guy still needs service. Before servicing what I said, you service the muntu qa.
Yeah.
When you service him, then that person is going to service us, then we can attend to other things. So that's been a tough thing to teach guys at home. But then once they got that, everything started like making sense. You know, that's been great.
Paul Maleke, proud of
Yes.
you, bro. Thank you very much for coming through.
My brother. Love
Before I let you go, I'd like for you to look at the camera and speak to yourself. I don't know which camera I'm going to give you. I think that's one, yeah?
That
I want you to look at that camera. Just like 2014 seems like only yesterday when we all started. 7-8 years has just gone like that. So I'm going to send you this video 20 years from today. How old are you now?
I'm turning 43 this year.
Yeah, so
Utakaka,
79. So in 20 years time, hardly to when we're turning 63, get look at this video. This is 20 years from today.
Yeah.
So this video will be you watching yourself speak to yourself, but 20 years ago. So basically you are now watching the 63-year-old you over there. Maybe there's even your grandkids next to you. What would you like to say to that old man over there? Sure. Let me see if I hear this thing right. So I must talk to me. You are speaking to yourself.
In future, okay.
Yeah.
But
you are speaking to your older self.
About today or
anything. No, anything that you'd like to say to that old man, that 63-year-old there. 63 is not even old.
It's not old.
But what would you like to say to that man? Because he's who he is because of you.
So, at that, okay, the 63-year-old me then, no man, I'll still be kicking ass. I'll still be adapting.
You see, you are speaking to us. Yeah. Don't speak to us. Speak to yourself there.
Oh, Paul Maleke at 63, daughter. I mean, I need to pension your government. So I'll be making sure, like, Paul at that age, yeah, man, is still actively involved, parting information, because that's what I like. Information. I'm very. I want to see this journey. My journey is like understanding human being, the word human being, and being able to. You know, we are human to become, so we're forever becoming something. At that time, I wanna see with like how many people I would have influenced to do better in life, how to stay true to ourselves. I want to see which I would have been true to myself throughout the years, which like I would have achieved that goal of making sure which I'm just impacting knowledge to people. I'm out there to adapt to the new changes of the world, because that's one of those things. Sometimes we're not aligning to the new changes. So I want to see at 62 good things, I was still keeping up with the world, of which I think I will be. And I think I want to retire. A lot of people want to retire early. Unfortunately, with me, at 63, I realize when you work till late, a friend of mine is 78, 79, yeah, he's still working. Wakes up in the morning and work, he looks fresh, like you wouldn't say 78. A lot of people, when they retire, they become old because they're not active-minded and all those things. Some are, but for me at 63, I think at 70, then I can maybe think of that, but I still want to be actively involved around the communities, and and I also want to see how, if I would have been into the crypto, not crypto such, but all this digital banking, how will it have changed things, and also our people as well. It will be great at that age when you look around, you see our people being take up those giants that right now, like we got Unilevers, we got these guys. We are near those guys. But at 63, it will be, 20 years old. 20 years is enough for us to change the game. So it will be great to look around and you see a lot of changes. Also, education. I'm very passionate about education, but I just think it needs to take a different direction. So with my kids, I always say, if this girl has to more than what I could teach you, then I would have failed as a father. So I would have liked to see the teaching that I've given to my kids paying out in 20 years. Who gave who best, Scala, why is that? Because they need to communicate. I was watching Tupac yesterday. I think Tupac at 17. So this boy said, the schools are not talking to us. They're teaching us algebra, but we are faced with drug abuse. So things that we are faced with, we can't even attend to them. We need a special psychologist. But if you go to school, like you've seen your mother being abused in a certain way, you can go to a class that relates with you, because that's what's holding you back to being you. So we need to have those, So for me, that's why I say it's a responsibility of every parent to make sure they teach their kids the best way they can. For me, right now, our kids shouldn't go to the system of the superiority that's there. We need to change the game. We need to see a lot of more fires. We need to see a lot of battles, a lot of trips. I think that culture, my kids are 2-year-old, go get trip pay, 5 to pay, like that. But I also like stories of other brands, because we are a global space. We must always not shy away from being interacting, but we must have presence. So at 60, I want to see that presence, and that's what I want to say.
That's dope, man. And then lastly, before I let you go, same camera.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Paul Maleke, founder of Such and Such, and I have just been hustled by DJ Swu on the Hustler's Corner. On that one,
camera,
yeah. Hi, I'm Mang Mang, founder of What, and I've just been hustled by DJ Swu on the Hustler's Corner.
Hi, my name is Paul Maleke, founder of Luxurious Rap and PM Media Science. I've just been hustled by DJ Swu on Hustler's Corner.
Thank you, bro.
Easy, my brother.
Proud of you. I'm glad we got it out of the way.
No, lovely. At least we got.
This is the Hustler's Corner.